talk now. This MMA, what we talking about? Yeah, you tuned into the pod now. Gonna be hard for you to stop now. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in.
Welcome back to another episode of Caged In. I'm your host, Chris DiCarlo. Today we got a very special guest making his long-awaited return to the cage and his long-awaited return to the Caged In podcast. It's my guy, Andrew Valdina. How we doing today, brother?
Doing good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. You know, we're out here at Mom's Base in MMA, right outside the front door. We always knew once you had a fight booked that I'd become making the trip, do this interview with you. I'm glad that we could finally get this one going.
Yeah, man. It's good to have you down here. We just finished a killer workout. It's good. It's good. It's a good atmosphere here. I got Joey Guns down here giving me some work. Connor Matthews, Cody Rose, Big Ben over there. So it was good work down here. I'm glad you made the trip. Appreciate it.
Yes,
and
sir.
yeah, I'm looking forward to May 25th, and I'm so happy to be back on this professional pod you got here.
Hey, man, you know, we're trying out here. You know, you mentioned it, man. It is your long-awaited return to the cage.
Yep.
I know we've already talked about it before. You probably answered the question a million times. You don't have to go too in-depth. But, you know, what's been keeping you out the past year, man, and how excited are you to get back?
So, first of all, I'm super excited to get back, man. This is like all I do. It's all I want to do. It's all I love to do. I believe I was put in this earth to do this. So, finally back, man, from all the injuries I had. Just to put it in a nutshell, I had like all these injuries, just multiple different things that all happened at once. And I took the proper time to heal. There were certain times, like in the past year, where I wanted to like jump the gun and get back in there way sooner than I probably should have. And thankfully, I have a good team, good family around me that kind of steered me in the right direction. Said, "Hey, listen, I know you got the fire for it, but why don't you just, you know, take a back seat for a little bit, chill out, and then you know, come back when the time's right." And that's what I did. So yeah, finally, man, I took the time to heal up. I did all the proper things and took my time patiently, and now I'm finally here, feeling better than I've ever felt, honestly, stronger, faster, quicker, you know, just a better mindset overall for the game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to showing everybody what's coming back here.
Of course, man. You know, the fans in Plymouth, you know, and everybody tuned in has always been, you know, asking you, I'm sure, when's the next time we're going to see you in there, so I'm sure they're also very excited to see you get back in the cage. Another thing that's kind of happened since the last time we spoke, friend, training partner, coach, if you will, Connor Matthews, making his UFC debut. You were there in Atlantic City to make that trip with him.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about that trip, man. How was the experience for you, you know, kind of seeing what happens for a UFC debut, a UFC fight week, and just kind of fill me in on how that was for you.
It was awesome. I mean, obviously, you know, we wish there was a different outcome. Obviously, it'd be awesome to see my boy Connor get the dub. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. And I'm a huge believer in that cliche saying, man. And I know that he's going to come back stronger. But overall, the trip was awesome. It was like really my first like team trip with all the boys going somewhere for a fight. You know, in the past, the team has packed up and gone to Vegas for Contender Series shots and stuff like that. UFC Fight nights, but now I finally got to come through for a fight night in Atlantic City. It was sick. It was cool being in the Airbnb all week with the boys. We got some good training in there, and I got to follow Connor around for his like media obligation for the UFC and just see what it all entails to be a UFC fighter at that stage. Like even his UFC debut, man, he's got cameras everywhere and stuff, and just being at that full packed arena in AC. And seeing my boy walk out confidently like that, man, I've been saying this every single time. It just feels a lot more attainable to get to where he's at. And I'm very grateful that, you know, we got to tag along for that fight night and kind of witness it before we get to see it, you know, firsthand.
Right. I know, of course, your goal is to get to the UFC someday, and those experiences that you had on that trip, I'm sure you're going to hold with you. Were there any specific moments that you can, like, you know, bookmark in the back of your head as far as moments that were like, these are things that I should know and prepare for when it's my time to get to that level?
I would say I should know just to keep my head on straight, regardless of what's going on, you know, around me. The things you can control is your attitude, you know, and your energy, where you're focusing, you know, yourself. And I can definitely see myself when I'm in the UFC. I'm saying this humbly, but I can see myself in the UFC with these cameras like he has and stuff, and all these different media obligations and people asking for this and that and stuff during my fight week. So I know just to keep my head on a straight and narrow path here, and just know that the goal is to be the best of the best. Everything else is bonus. and yeah, just to keep myself goal oriented, just on the fight.
For sure, man. And it's very important to have those mental reps. Now it's something that you can, it's not going to be a whole new, entirely new experience for you like the next time it happens, or if you get to follow Connor along, maybe, for the next one as well. That's just more, mentalization in the bank for you for when that time comes for you as well. I want to talk about your recent announcement of changing camps. You're switching to New England Cartel full-time as well as Mom's Basement full-time. Talk to me about that decision, what went behind that decision, and then how have things been going for you since the switch?
Yeah, so for the past, like, I don't know, say half year or so, I've been I slowly started switching over to New England Cartel from Lozon MMA. Obviously, nothing personal with Lozon MMA, Joe Lozon or anything. I love the guy. I love everyone that's at that gym as well. It was more just a business decision and a professional decision where I know, where I want to take my career. And it's with a room full of killers with all, the same mindset of wanting to be at the pinnacle of the sport someday. I mean, when I'm going to New England Cartel, man, it's those practices where more times than not I'll be the nail. I'm back to being the small fish in a big pond, and I think that's exactly what I need to be going into like the direction I want to go. And I know it's all going to pay off. So New England Cartel, man, it's one of the biggest changes I've done in my entire MMA career, and I'm so excited for everyone to see it all pay off because I feel really, really good about my decisions. I really do.
For sure.
Like at first I was nervous about it and stuff, and I felt a little weird, leaving, just because of the connections I had and stuff. But I really do feel like this was meant to happen, and it's on path, and everything's lined up the way it should be.
There you go. And let's talk about the other spot that you spent a lot of time at. We're here at Mom's Basement MMA, a place that's been around in your camp for over a year now. Talk to me about the change from day one here at Mom's Basement to now building a more serious fight team and taking things a little bit more seriously here. Talk to me about that evolution from day one to where you guys are at now.
Well, day one was kind of actually not even like in the basement. Day one was kind of at Seaside CrossFit. It was a CrossFit gym in Wareham where Connor was able to take half the gym and put down his own puzzle piece mats, and we'd get some work in there, and that was good and all. But then we really took things to the next level, and it sounds like it's not the next level, but it's to the next level in the Mom's Basement.
Right.
And it's next level because, one, it's closer for all of us. Obviously, Connor, it's about 20 yards from his bed. But it's only like 15 minutes for me. It's real short distance for Joe Poirier as well. And we have a cage down here. That's like the biggest game changer, man.
Sure.
That cage. And not for nothing, man, where all my fights have been for Cage Titans so far, and all of our fights have been for Cage Titans. That's the smallest cage in the region, and that cage is about the same size. So you're not really going to get that emulated of a look elsewhere. So Mom's Basement's been great once we moved down here, and we just, all the work that we get at Cartel, pad sessions with P, pad sessions with Jake Manini and stuff like that, we can all just kind of take it back here, regurgitate it again by teaching it. That way we're backwards. Learning it again.
Exactly.
Whatever it's called.
No, I know what you mean.
Learning it again by teaching and stuff like that, and doing it over and over and repping it back down here. So it's really gonna, it's just a big improvement to all of our game being down here.
For sure, man, 100%. This is my second time being here. Last time I was here was to interview Carlos Ozoya. If you haven't seen that one, go check it out.
That was a great interview.
Yeah, man, he's a great guy. I always love talking to him. He's also going to be fighting Memorial Day weekend for Combat FC on May 24th. Make sure everybody tunes in on UFC Fight Pass. But yeah, this is my second time here, man, and every time I come here, it's nice to see the facility because I always see it on social media, and you guys do a great job of posting content from here. So to be able to see it in person, and it's nice to see the amount of work that you guys put into this space, and you get the most out of it for sure.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into it, man. It's been a year since you've had a fight. You got one coming up May 25th, a Cage Titan 65, where you're taking on Noah Abdill, who is 2-2, coming all the way from Hawaii, making the trip to Plymouth, Massachusetts. First of all, man, what do you know about this kid, and then how do you feel about his game when you really look into him?
Yeah, so Noah Abdill, I know he's 2-2 from Hawaii. Hawaiians are usually stereotypically pretty tough kids. So I'm ready for a durable kid, tough kid. Which I want. Like I've always said this in the past, man. Like I want every fight to be a new type of test, and a new increase in competition. So a 500 tough ass Hawaiian man. That's great, and I know this kid likes to strike too. I watched a couple of his fights, and he definitely likes to get in there and bang. But I see a lot of chinks in the armor, like I always do, man. And I know that my game is gonna overpower his. I see his weaknesses. I see where my strengths come into play. I'm not gonna take them lightly. I never do.
Right.
But I know it's gonna be a very, very good night for me. I can't wait to get back in there, man. It's been way too long. But literally, the last time I talked to you for an interview, man, was leading up to a May 27th fight card against Will Smith. And now this fight's 2 days prior of a year. Same position when I'm talking to you. It's crazy. It's just crazy how time flies like that. And it's I can't wait for everyone to see me get back in there, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, man, we're all excited to see you perform once again. You know, you mentioned it's kind of crazy that it will be literally almost like a calendar year since the last one. So I think the fans in Plymouth have had a long enough wait, and they'll all be excited to see you. And you always bring fans to the hall, whether it's through ticket sales or just people that are just genuinely fans of you. The place is always banging when you're there. So, I'm excited to feel that energy again once the Gladiator walks out.
Sir.
When you're looking at your opponent, man, stylistically, when you break them down skill for skill and match them up against yourself, where do you see yourself having the biggest advantages here?
I think just my MMA game in general is a lot better than his. And I'm going to say that respectfully. I know he's got weapons, and I know he can, get the job done like he has a couple times. But, if we're going to be striking, I know that my striking is cleaner. If we're going to be grappling, I know I'm going to bring him into deep waters and strangle him. So it kind of seems like my cardio is much better. It seems like he wears down pretty fast. So I just think I'm going to beat him everywhere, honestly. It's kind of like cliche, stereotypical of a fighter to say that he's going to beat somebody in every department, but I know I am. I'm confident in it. I've seen the way he fights. I know the way I fight, and everyone will see it.
For sure, man. We said it multiple times now. It's been a year of pent-up energy, pent-up aggression, if you will. What can the fans inside Plymouth Memorial Hall expect from the return of the Gladiator on May 25th?
I can promise you guys you're going to see the best Gladiator you've ever seen in your life. It's going to be a completely different type of fighter. A lot of the same tools, but just sharpened over a year's worth of sharpening on the forge. And it's just going to be a night and day display from the fight that I had with Will Smith, where I went through a lot of adversity leading up to that fight, man, that a lot of people don't even know about, which kind of like made my performance a little different. But leading up to this, man, if you look in the past, all the layoffs that I've had leading up to different fights, after my last amateur fight, I took almost half a year off,
right?
And I came back on a 4-fight win streak with four finishes. You know what I mean? So like a full year's worth of taking time off, healthy as I possibly can be. Injuries, I don't even know what those are anymore, man. Thankfully, knock on wood. You know what I mean? But like honestly, like I'm feeling so good, so confident, and you guys are going to see the best version of Andrew Valdina you've ever seen.
Awesome, man. And I know you're no stranger to dropping predictions. Your predictions that you've laid out on my show in the past have all been pretty accurate. So not too much pressure, but do you have a prediction for this one coming up on May 25th?
So my prediction, honestly, is obviously I'm always prepared for quote unquote worst case scenario where I'm going all 3 rounds, just drowning this kid. But like my honest prediction, I think I get it done in 2 rounds. It's definitely going to be a knockout or a choke. But I also can see myself knocking him out in the first round as well with some little habits that he gets himself into that I see and I capitalize on. But if I'm going to put something concrete down, 2nd round sub.
Perfect. Andrew, appreciate the time, brother. Thanks for taking the time to come and talk to me. I'm glad that I can make the trip over here and finally do this one in person. Before I let you go, man, where can the people come find you, and then any sponsors or anything that you need to shout out before I let you go?
Yes, sir, man. So all my social media is just at Andrew Valdina, Instagram, Facebook. I don't really use Twitter anymore, X, whatever, but I'm on there as well. Shout out to the sponsors, Face Off Fight Club. It's a nice hat you got there. They've been very loyal to me for the past couple years, man, and I'm very grateful for all the support they've given. We just actually came out with new Gladiator season rash guard and shorts.
Yeah, you dropped that one on your birthday.
Yeah, man, they're pretty slick. I like them a lot. They got the blood splatter on there, which I think is a great touch, and it really makes that rash guard pop a little bit. The shorts are slick as well, too. And then other than that, man, Gifted Peace LLC. It's one of my newer sponsors. They're a candle company that my 2 college wrestling teammates created.
Nice.
It's crazy to think that my wrestling teammates made a candle company.
Right,
but
that is
honestly,
a pretty wild story.
They gave me a little welcome package. All the candles smell mint, dude. They gave me like a room spray, which I need because my room smells like a locker room.
Right.
They gave me a cologne, which is pretty mint too. Maybe that'll help me in the ladies department a little bit.
Maybe.
But
I'll take all the help you can get.
hey, take it easy over there, peanut gallery, yeah. But Drake It Exhaust and Tire. We just got them to sponsor me again. I really appreciate the support they've been giving me for a few fights now. Get Right in Drake It. They're a nutrition shop, and they've helped me out almost my entire pro career. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to May 25th. Thank you for coming down, brother. I appreciate it.
Of course, man.
It's
Thanks
always
for
good
having
talking
me.
to you.
Got down for the count and he can't even talk now. This MMA, what we talking about? Yeah, you tuned into the pod now. Gonna be hard for you to stop now. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in.